Hey everybody, I'm Zac Jackson from Zac Jackson and Friends. Hopefully you're watching this on the Zac Jackson and Friends YouTube page. And in 2026, I promised we would put more up there. So whether you're watching it there or on MySpace or on Facebook or on Instagram Reels, just wanted to give some thoughts here on the Browns coaching search. So Kevin Stefanski, as you almost certainly know, was fired, last Monday. He's been on the interview circuit, and the Browns themselves have started on their interview circuit. So this is the end of week one of what's probably going to be at least a 3-week process. So no, I don't know what's going to happen or who they're going to hire. Even if the Browns have a blueprint or a candidate in mind, there are lots of reasons for the Browns to be open-minded, patient, and flexible throughout this process. They might have their guy in a few days. They might already have their guy. They might not officially have their guy till after the Super Bowl. So let's see what happens. Time is on their side, and not just because ownership clearly isn't forcing the GM to win anytime soon. But the numbers game really isn't on their side. There are 8 openings, and I think it's safe and fair to say the Browns aren't first in line. So to reiterate, I don't have the answer. I don't have a crystal ball. I can tell you they're probably not hiring Todd Monken or Adam Dirty. I can tell you there's like a 3% chance John Harbaugh is taking the job. So please come back to the real world with that when I can't believe what some of you guys are saying out there. But who's really going to be a finalist or a riser or someone who's both going to be wanted by the Browns and want them? I always had Jeff Hafley of the Packers atop my personal list. Maybe I'm wrong. The Dolphins went ahead and hired John Eric Sullivan as GM, and the obvious connection there. Sullivan's worked his whole career in Green Bay. Hafley's been in Green Bay. We'll see. So in Cleveland, maybe it's Chris Shula. Maybe it's Dan Pitcher, the Bengals offensive coordinator. Yes, Dan Pitcher is a real candidate. He's young. He's never been in the seat before. The Bengals coaching tree with Zach Taylor isn't exactly the Bill Walsh coaching tree. I get it. But even outside of Pitcher's relationship with Andrew Berry, Pitcher has the kind of presence, experience, and background that teams are looking for. Good offenses? Check. Analytics, aggressiveness, a varied background, including scouting and coaching quarterbacks? Check. AFC North? Check. Getting QBs ready to perform on short notice, which is the Browns' way, maybe the only way? Check, check. Look, maybe you say his resume is a little bit too much like Stefanski's, the guy you just fired. Sure. Pitcher has really risen up one organization. He's an offensive first guy. Maybe Stefanski and Pitcher even look alike. I get it. But that's the resume that's going to get Pitcher more of these interviews if he's still available. So maybe the Browns can just call him again in 2027 or in 2029. I get it. But if the Browns are really serious about a quarterback-driven rebuild and giving you, the fans, a competent, watchable, real NFL offense, Dan Pitcher is a real candidate. Let's see what happens over the next couple of weeks. Check out the Zac Jackson and Friends podcast presented by Fully Loaded wherever you get your podcasts. And again, please click on and subscribe to the YouTube channel. Thanks for watching.